Hey listeners, this is part 2 of our very first two-parter episode with our guest, Dawn. If you haven't listened to part 1, go back to episode 8 and listen to that. Then jump back to this episode. Again, thanks for being here. We love you all.
Part 2.
Dawn, thanks for sharing about your friend. Little shout out to your friend out there. I admire people when you encounter people like that and you're like, you just have such a genuine appreciation for where you are and the things you have and the things around you and what's your secret? How can I be like that?
You know what though? You are a grateful person, and I mean you can hear it in your voice and your stories. So tell us something. What are you grateful for?
Well, I mean, first off, it's definitely Jake and Sam, my kids.
Yeah.
So gotta be grateful for them. Just that they're. I mean, I'm like you guys can both appreciate this, right? Just that they're healthy, they're intelligent, they're, you know what I mean, like, and that's such a gift. You know what I mean, like, but yeah it's
it really is.
So yeah, totally grateful for them, definitely. The mountains, love being in the mountains and nature, and you know, like that I can live here. I mean, in Denver, and just, you know, half hour I'm like up in the mountains and can go do that.
That's amazing.
And then also, and this is going to sound a little weird, but I'm grateful for PRP.
I do PRP.
Oh wait, so
It
what
might
do you
be
think?
different.
What's your
My
PRP?
PRP is when they drag blood out of me, spin it down, and take the plasma. I do.
What?
See, I know what you're talking about.
What is PRP?
It's platelet-rich plasma injections is what PRP. So platelet-rich plasma. And yeah, they pull out your blood, they spin it down, and they get a bunch of platelets, and they inject it somewhere in your body that's in pain. And so for me, like, I was like, okay, if I'm doing Kili, I gotta spend. I was very intentional about making sure on my 3-day weekends I was like up in the mountains at least twice, and my knees started like feeling like stiff, and you know, and I'm like, oh, you know, and had a friend of mine back in Utah that I know did PRP and stuff, because like, well, Jason had it on his shoulders a couple times, and you know, so I got a hold of him, and I'm like, hey, just sound like a candidate, and he was like, yeah, got a guy in Denver, so I'm like.
I know a guy.
Yeah, got a guy in Denver.
Got a guy.
So I
have
went
a
to this,
PRP guy.
you know, the doc here in Denver, and you know, normally, like, I think because I was like, you know, recommended from a friend, and I'm like, yeah, I got 4 weeks before this hike. Like, you're supposed to get the injections and like rest for 2 weeks. Yeah, I didn't rest for 2 days. I was like,
You're supposed to rest afterwards?
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so it's.
I didn't read the fine print.
Or at least take it easy, yeah. No, but it was incredible. And I really don't think there's no way I would have been able to do Kili if I hadn't have gotten PRP.
It's your body's natural defense mechanism. But look, tell us about a simple pleasure from your past that you still appreciate right now.
All right, so jogging. That's the one that comes to mind. Like, my dad was into jogging, and I remember, like, I didn't jog a whole lot with him because I think I was probably too young to keep up with him for a while, and there was a brief overlap, you know what I mean? Like, when I was a teenager that I could keep up with him, and then I was off doing whatever. But but I love jogging, which is, I know for most people it's just a sickness. Like,
Yeah, I wish I could get into it. I honestly don't know how. I mean, like, my knees hurt after I run. I don't know.
PRP, baby.
You know, Lexi and I did do one thing. We did a Tough Mudder together. And it was
This was 13 years ago that we did a Tough Mudder.
Yeah.
Do you know what a Tough Mudder is, Don?
I'm guessing it's like an obstacle course in the mud.
Yeah.
Can I join the next
Yeah.
one? Let's do it.
What? You want to do a Tough Mudder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We did.
It's like 12 miles.
That's cool.
And with obstacles, and the obstacles switch back and forth between like mud obstacles and water obstacles, so you're getting the mud off between the next mud. You end up pretty clean in the end, actually.
Let's do it.
Well, Don's up for it. I thought it was fun.
Instead of a 12-mile one, let's find him a 6-mile one.
I wonder if they do have
They actually do.
They do have like a mini Mudder.
They have, I think, a 3-miler, a 6-miler, 12. I think it's 12, 14 miles. And then they have the big one, which is just shy of a marathon one. The Spartans do that too. And then if you do all of those in a year, you get a special
I love
recognition.
that you are saying, Don, let's do it.
Let's do it. Come on, Gibby. 6 mile. You're up for it, right? Little 10K Tough Mudder.
Well, depend on what day it is.
So, Don, do you do races and like 5Ks and things like that?
So I'm a complete weirdo where this goes to. So I've had friends that have occasionally, like, over my life, like, drug me into doing races with them, because I know for a lot of people, when you get hyped up for a race and you train and it's the whole goal, and you got people on the side like clapping and cheering you on. I love running, but it's like, give me either my headphones or a dog. Like, you know what I mean? And let me go. Like, I just, races, like, I just can't, I don't know. It just drives me nuts. So I had my friend of mine lives up in Evergreen, and they used to do a community one or whatever. And she was like, oh, come on, you run. I'm like, all right, fine. You know what I mean? And we were going to do it. And then they canceled it. And I was like, yay.
And that's your sign that that's not for you.
Yeah, no, the racing stuff, I just, like, and I know, like, and I'm just a weirdo. Like, I know for so many people it's the goals, and you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? A lot of people just get very into the goals and they feel very inspired by the clapping, and I'm telling you, man, I just, like, I'm not right. Like, I'm not right. Like I said, headphones or a dog. That's all I want to jog with.
And keep it a simple pleasure. I think that's great.
I think so too.
You know, I have another question before we move into our last question that I wanted to go back to. You've talked a lot about things you've learned from other people. You've talked a little bit about your experience as a teacher. Tell us about a lesson that you still remember learning from one of your past teachers.
Okay. So ironically, I was one of the few people teaching, because I'm sure, Lexa, you can relate to this. Most people who go into the teaching profession were, like, phenomenal students. And so all those really good students, that care about their grades and these silly things, like, are so relatable to most of the teachers. And I'm like the dude with the attitude problem in the back of the room that's, like, trying to do his homework really quick before I notice. You know what I mean? That's the one I relate to. Like, I was a horrible student, and I mean horrible student. Like, I finished high school without a study skill to shake a stick at. My first year of college, I had a 0.4 GPA. Never in my life have I had a 4.0. 0.4, baby, I'm in. You know?
I had 0.9, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
So I just have to say that as a preface to this. So
sure.
So the teaching that comes to mind is me, I think, really, like, it just because I was so outside the box. Like, so I remember it was like 8th grade. They gave this, like, because, like, the super smart kids that were, like, in, you know, the little gifted group or whatever. I don't remember if they called it gifted back in the early 80s, right? But, like, you know, the super smart kids, right, that were in that. They were going to go ahead and take algebra in 8th grade. And so the math teacher tested everybody for all the pre-algebra skills. And apparently I blew everybody away. Like, me and this other girl, Kim. Kim and I blew everybody away. And he insisted on putting us up into the advanced group. All the other teachers, because you had to be, like, if I was in advanced math, I had to be in advanced English and history and science. All the other teachers were like, you are not moving these two girls up. It was a thing. And this is like early 80s, so nobody was keeping it quiet. Like, they were just like,
oh my gosh,
like, we knew the math teacher was fighting to move us up, and we knew the other 3 teachers were like, absolutely not. And, like, we just didn't care. We're like, oh, whatever.
Wait, so you were fine if they did, fine if they didn't?
Yeah, we're like, whatever, you know? Like, because we were terrible students. We had blown everybody out of the water with, like, you know. So anyway, so the math teacher won, we got bumped up. And again, like, no study skills. Like, I had none, you know? And so the struggle was real, but I got through it or whatever. And then at the end of the year, they're like, yeah, you just need to take algebra again. I was like the rest of the class, like, these, like, super smart kids move on as freshmen are going to take honors geometry. And they're telling me to take algebra again. I'm like, all right. You know what I mean? So in 9th grade, I took, it was honors algebra, actually. So I took honors algebra in 9th grade. And I was still, the X's, the Y's, the whatever, like, none of it made any freaking sense to me. Mm-hmm. And I remember, like, sitting down with my dad, and my dad has, like, a GED, like, he dropped out of high school, lied about his age, joined the Air Force, you know, and he, you know, I mean, circle back to ask me about like Sony finding out that he didn't have a degree. But anyways, but he knew how to, like, he was an avid reader, like, you know, and super smart, photographic memory, could like figure things out, right? So I remember sitting down with my algebra homework and him saying, heck, I don't know about these X and Y's, but I can draw a picture. And he would just draw a picture and we'd get to the right answer. And so I think somehow doing my algebra homework my freshman year of high school, like with my dad, it was like, okay, like, you know what I mean? It finally, some of it started to click, you know what I mean? And then I was able, like, once it started clicking, so anyway, so I'll put definitely my dad on a list of, like, you know, and then, but then as a sophomore, I'm like, well, I took honors algebra. I did great, so I should take honors geometry, right? And they're all like, no, sophomores take honors geometry. Just take regular geometry. The honors geometry is just for the freshmen, right? It's just like, you know, and I'm like, I don't care. I want to take honors. And they're like, but you'll be in a class of freshmen. I'm like, that's cool. So I took honors geometry. And so here I am, again, terrible study skills, and I'm sitting in honors geometry with all the freshmen who are like uber nerdy, like great at school. And but the geometry teacher was phenomenal, Miss Herman. She might be the only teacher's name I remember from all of my classes, like everything that I did, like Miss Herman. And I remember this one thing, because again, like I wasn't reading the book, I wasn't really doing the homework necessarily, but she gave us this, like, I guess really hard proof to do, you know what I mean? And I just sat with it in blissful ignorance of what you were supposed to do and figured out my own way through it. And then like, so we turned in the homework, and the next day in class, she's like, this is the most creative proof I've ever seen. And she made, like, you remember overheads?
I remember overheads.
The greased overheads.
The overheads. She made an overhead of my proof and went on this whole thing with the class about how creative it was. And they're all looking at me like, it's because you don't crack open the book. You don't know what you're supposed to do.
They weren't thinking that. They did. That's not what they were thinking. That's funny how we.
What do you think they were thinking?
They were probably like, the smart chick over here. Yep.
No, they knew I was a smart chick. I mean, after
That's
that
the
year,
sophomore in class.
I stopped taking honors math after that.
But you still remember Miss Herman.
No, Miss Herman was awesome. And it's just really what I appreciate about her is, like, she didn't, I mean, she knew I was a terrible student. She knew I was, like, not really reading stuff, and, you know what I mean? I wasn't really applying myself, but she just appreciated, you know, like, a different way of thinking about things, and she just, you know what I mean? She didn't make me feel bad about being a crappy student.
No, she elevated you.
Yeah.
That's amazing that she took the time to do that.
Lexi's told me there is no terrible student. There's students with challenges.
No, there's terrible students, and I was one. No, I'm just joking.
Speaking as a former terrible student.
You don't get a 0.4, Gibby, because you went to class or cracked open a book. I mean, you know, as far as like actual like school skills, I've had people ask me, how do you get a 0.4?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you get a B in choir, a D. Okay, so this is so bad. So my first semester, like I realized I was failing everything, and so I withdrew like right before the date. And my dad was like furious, and he's like, "You're paying for the next," and I'm like rebel without a clue. I'm like, well, if I'm paying for it, I'm taking what I want. So I took like painting, and I took drawing, and I took choir.
I think that's amazing that you took that.
Those are hard though.
No, and then I got bored and stopped going to class again. So I think like, yeah.
So you didn't like them.
So I failed a whole bunch of classes. I think I got a B in choir. You know what I mean? Because I was friends in that one ended early. You know, it was a 1-credit class. I mean, you're right. So the math, I think I might have gotten a D in something. Anyways, yeah, the math worked out to 0.4. But yeah, all good. Well, then eventually, like I got my. It took me 3.5 years at a community college. Because when you do that to the first year, right? It took me 3.5 years to finish my little associates in humanities, and I had a 2-point, GPA, and I'm like applying to go to a 4-year school, and I got rejected by all of them. So then I'm like, well, I guess the only school that'll have me is the community college. Back then, there was 2 options. It was an associates in humanities or an associates in science. So I'm like, well, guess I'm taking science. And then I'm like, I got to learn how to study. So my older sister, she's only 4 years older than me, but because I had been dorking around at a community college for 5 years, by this point she had a master's degree in marine science and was like working in Delaware. So I'm still in Jersey and she's in Delaware, and I'm like, well, I got to learn how to study. So I literally, the first semester that I took science classes, I would pack up all my books, and on Friday I'd drive to Delaware, and that woman, bless her, spent the weekends with me teaching me how to study.
That's awesome.
That's really amazing.
So she would be the next phenomenal teacher that I had. But yeah, so
you have your dad and Miss Herman and your sister.
Yeah.
And you. I mean, even though you're talking about, I was a terrible student, I mean, you still took these steps to put yourself in honors classes and take classes that you wanted in college and then go seek out someone who could help you study. That's a lot of choices that you made for yourself.
I did. I mean, but when you're not enjoying your menial labor job, you're like living in a life.
You get the motivation that you need.
like it's either keep this college thing going, or do this for the rest of my life.
Dawn, can we circle back to this 10 essentials? I know you live in an apartment, and I would love to hear about your organization system. Like, how do you store all of that?
So up there is like those little bins. So that's like my sleeping bag. That's all like my winter hiking stuff is in one of those bins. And then in that bin, hold on. That one is my 10 essentials. And then that's my smaller little day pack. So that's one I did Killy with. And then if we keep going around the room, those are my inspirational quotes. Anyways,
I love your posters. Let's see them.
Oh, can you?
I see MLK. Who's that? I can't see.
Can you
tell who those are?
Wait.
Okay, well, Martin Luther King, obviously.
Is that?
Wait, here. Let me get over here. Are they?
Davis?
Oh, are they readable now?
A little bit. Who's the bottom left?
Bottom left is Maggie Kuhn. She I think in the 70s was like being kind of age discriminated against, and so she actually changed a lot of the laws for age discrimination because she stood up to it. But people always credit RBG. So it's her saying, "Leave safety behind, stand before the people you fear, and speak your mind, even if your voice shakes." And everybody always credits that to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but it was actually Maggie Kuhn. They do. And then Desmond Tutu, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. But yeah, Angela Davis is phenomenal. She said that many years ago, no longer accepting things I cannot change, changing things I cannot accept. And then Martin Luther King, his I love is, in the end, we remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing us that.
Sure.
And those are canvases that did you get those in a set, or where did you get those from?
I actually made them. So I just kind of surfed pictures on the internet and took the quotes and put them over it, and then and it's like $20 a pop to like when you send a picture and just get it printed out on canvas. So it wasn't. I got like maybe $80 invested in that.
That's amazing to have exactly what you want.
Yeah. So now up on that shelf, normally, so that's all my overnight camping stuff, and then my actual backpack is at my friend's house because he's taking the backpacking class with me. So my larger pack is at his place right now with all that stuff, right? And then all that stuff in that bag is all my that's my car camping stuff. So that's like all the blackout stuff for my Jeep.
Cool.
And there's my snowshoes.
And
that's all my skiing stuff, my ski helmet and boots, and then there's my skis. So this is how we have an outdoor life and live in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Oh my God.
It's incredible.
Oh, wait, hold on. The best feature of my bedroom. Here.
Cows.
Those are my curtains. So
and
I wake up to
have
have those
those
cows every day.
Do you like cows?
They're just so happy.
I love cows. One of my life goals is to have a cow friend.
Oh wait, hold on. While we're doing this nonsense. Oh, okay. So when I moved out here, I was like, who am I? So I got a map of New Jersey because it also covers up, hold on, the horrible looking box.
Why is that there?
So yeah, and I kind of went through this like, who am I? So yeah, I got a map of New Jersey.
Of course.
But then these, I'm not a fan of curtains. Can you hold on? Can you read
I love those too.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, zoom in. Let's see them.
All right, can you see them?
Oh.
Very 50s.
So
better late than sober.
Yeah. So for my family dinner parties is the fine print on the better late than sober. Kitchen runs on caffeine, chaos, and a whole lot of questionable recipes. And then my absolute favorite that inspired it, my precious. She holds a raw steak.
That's a very niche set of artwork right there.
Yeah.
Multifaceted.
Those ones I think I did. I actually did buy those off of Etsy. Like, at least the print.
That's so
and then
funny.
I had them printed. Yeah.
Well, okay, so you said you've been in Denver for 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
What a transformation in 2.5 years with your hermit year, and then you're now look at your setup in your room with all your stuff and your artwork. I mean, what do you think? Not that you've changed, but that you're.
Right. It's
I don't know how to phrase it.
Like, I feel like I'm 10,000% calmer.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said like you're going through a who am I? Like obviously you know who you were, but you've gotten to a place of being able to be who you are.
Yeah.
When you were asking yourself, who am I? Were you struggling at the time?
So, moving out here, so much happiness. I mean, like, so when I applied, because I applied for a job in a different location at first, and they were like, well, that one's not going to work out. They were like, but how about Denver? And I'm like, yes! And it was like immediate. Well, because I'd lived in Utah for 15 years, and I love the Rockies. I love the Rockies. And so, because I grew up in the Northeast, I lived in the Southeast, I lived in Ohio, even Seattle. Like, and Seattle has so much that's beautiful to it, but, that mist that happens, like too many months out of the year.
I do know about that.
Yeah, it's, so.
It's killer.
Yeah, but it's the Rockies, it's the desert climate, the nothing molds, you know what I mean? Like it's absolutely like Utah was like, okay, this is for everywhere I've lived, which the only place I haven't lived in this country is like the Southeast, right? Or Southwest. Lived everywhere else, and it's like absolutely my favorite climate, and I was so excited to come back out to the Rockies and be here. So it was just like massive change, right? Because Jake and Sam are off like doing their own thing, you know what I mean? And then it's like then I'm here by myself and starting a whole new. I went from teaching and back to defense and doing a whole new job, and and like I knew like a few people out here, but not many, you know what I mean? So it was just a lot of like
Pretty much nothing stayed the same. Everything changed.
Yeah, it was just massive change, you know what I mean? So it was like
such an opportunity.
Yeah, and it's different. Like when you're trying to, because we moved a lot when the kids were like little and growing up. You know what I mean? So every move is like, okay, well, where are the schools, and what's there for the kids to do this or that, or you know what I mean? You have all those things, and then it was like I came out here and I'm like, I didn't know anything I want.
That's awesome.
So it was just
wow.
Yeah, it was like, what do I want to do?
You have to
and
make so many decisions now
this
about
is funny
how to
too.
spend your time. You play guitar now?
I don't. So
It's a wall hanger.
No, I don't.
no, that is a beautiful sounding, at least I did a year and a half ago, beautiful sounding Fender bass, acoustic bass. It's beautiful. And I wanted to learn. So this is hermit mode. This is like one of my last episodes in hermit mode. So this would have been, I moved out here February 23. So that would have been like January 24. I'm like, because I love bass. Like I love bass guitar. Oh, ask me about the towel later. But anyways, all right. So I love bass. So I buy this bass, and there's like Marty Schwartz, like YouTube videos, like you can learn, So I was just in little hermit mode, Friday, Saturday, Sunday mornings, like teaching myself how to play bass. And then my friend asked me to hike Kili, and then I'm like, oh, need to be in the mountains. Haven't touched it since. So it's been sitting there looking really good on the wall for like a year and a half.
It does look really nice on the wall.
It looks
So
Do you
then-
have plans to start that back up, or not really?
Well, I know I'm still.
It takes time.
I figure
and consistency.
if I get injured and I'm like sitting around, okay,
Oh.
or you know what I
So
mean.
you're keeping it as
Yeah.
a backup
You know?
hobby.
Yeah, I'll have to get it tuned because I have no idea how to do that. But,
They have.
and
That's
that's
tuners
actually
on your phones nowadays.
Just so you know, that's my dad's Coast Guard license.
Oh,
Wow.
right on.
Yeah. But anyways, I just wanted you to know that wasn't like one of my accolades framed. I don't have any of those.
Oh.
That's.
And what do you have that you're showing off over there, Don?
Hey, Don,
Yeah.
so your entire life is just a roller coaster. You are enjoying almost everything that you encounter, and you see the good. Tell us something, a piece of advice that you would give your younger self.
All right. And, my honest answer, I wouldn't tell my younger self a thing. because I would be a different person, right? I mean, if I was there to tell my younger self, it's not that I haven't made mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes, right? But if I didn't make those mistakes, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have had that experience. I would be a different person, you know? Like, if I hadn't like messed up school as hard as I did, you know what I mean? And like gotten through in like 7 years for the bachelor's. 7, right?
You weren't in a hurry.
It was a 4-year degree, by the way.
You got it.
Yeah, I mean, and I went to grad school, and like in grad school is where I met Jason, and you know what I mean? And from Jason came Jake and Sam, and you know what I mean? It's like, how do you look back on the screw ups and the mistakes, like, you know, and know that, okay, if I hadn't made that choice, all this would have been different, and I'd just be a different person in a different place, and you know what I mean? And so, no. Like it's like,
just to wrap it up.
That's a perfect answer.
No advice. I think we might have to take that question off the guest list, because who could answer it better than how you just answered it?
Well, no, keep it on. People will give dumb answers and then shame them.
Wrong. The answer is don't give yourself advice. As we learned in episode 8, Dawn.
I'm going to retire it.
Like, to be serious, that is an amazing answer. And that makes me so happy, and it's really inspiring. Like, I think a lot of people would think of an answer. Like, I could think of something to tell myself. I'm sure Gibby could think of
a few things.
Dozens.
Yeah.
But
not that I
in reality, no, because then everything would be completely different. And
if you
I don't want things to change.
You wouldn't have acted on it anyhow, because you're fine, just like me.
Oh, you're like, good advice, but no thanks. I'm not supposed to learn study skills for another several years.
Be awesome. No, I was such a punk.
That is interesting. Would you accept the... Doesn't matter what you tell your younger self. Yeah. You probably would not have accepted it anyway, because you're yourself. Yeah. I love that, too. Oh, my gosh.
I actually was just thinking, we've laughed all the way through this. You have been a huge delight. I don't want to say you were a favorite, because there's the other 6, or was it 7?
7, yeah. We love all of our guests.
We love all of our guests.
Past, present, and future.
But Dawn, you have been a delight and a bunch of laughs.
Thank you.
I learn a lot of things.
Thank you for taking your time out to share with us and the audience.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and my first podcast.
I do want to tell a story about Dawn.
Okay.
So when Dawn lived here in the Seattle area, we went on hiking a couple of times, and that was a while ago. And before Dawn learned about the 10 essentials, and before I did too, just now in this podcast today. But there was one time in the winter that we went hiking on Mount Si, and you brought your dog, I think?
Oh, Svetlana. Yeah, I did. We brought Lana.
I can't remember if I brought my dog at the time, but we were very unprepared for the wintry conditions up on Mount Si. We didn't have microspikes at the time. Yeah. So we were one of those people sliding down, watching people just walk up and down confidently with their spikes on. It was that hike that did it for me, where I was like, I can spend $20 on a set of microspikes. And I got some right after that. And it has, it dramatically changes your ability to hike.
It's a game changer.
Yeah. I feel like there's got to be a hike for everybody where they learn that they just need to get them. And for me, it was when we hiked Mount Si that one time.
So in true form, to being a terrible student, didn't occur to me to get microspikes after that one. I have them now, but that was only
after several more times of sliding down mountains.
I remember the hike. I remember sliding. I remember Lana. I remember Lana was just exhausted in the truck on the ride home or whatever. I remember it now that you're saying this. And I had completely forgotten about microspikes, left my memory, as if that was the lesson of the day.
I should have told you. I should have texted you and said, hey, check out what I got. Yeah. You need some.
I got them a little over a year ago when I was doing the hikes prepping for Achille, because my friends were like...
was there a hike where you were like, I need to get spikes?
Yeah, they were like, well, microspikes and whatever. And I'm like, what are microspikes? Doing, Google search. Terrible student. I'm still a terrible student.
Apparently. You've gained study skills selectively. when you really need them, you'll learn the 10 essentials. Our first couple Thanksgivings we spent over with Dawn and her family, and I still remember those times really fondly. And then the Christmas that you let us use your house for all of us to stay at when you guys were traveling.
You missed that. The New Year's Eve was the best.
It was a wild time. It was a snowpocalypse on Christmas Eve.
Icepocalypse, yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Icepocalypse, yeah.
Cool.
But it was such a great place to come and have you guys and have your friendship, like, it already existing. It made a big difference for us with our move.
You guys are family.
Yeah. And for you not knowing my wife at all, she immediately was like, it felt the same way about you guys, like instant family type of feeling.
You guys are awesome. Your wife is awesome. And I remember like camping in Rainier and that with
I was
you
thinking about
guys,
that the other day too. Did you know Don
I didn't know
with
that.
us at Rainier? Yeah. But we had our dogs with us, so we had to all, like, one person had to stay at the campsite while we all took turns going off on little mini adventures because they can't be on the trails there. But it was really fun, and I'm glad that you came with us.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing me. It was way fun. We loved having you guys out and hanging out with us.
Well, we'll plan a time for it to come to Colorado just for some little adventures. But since we have kids, they're very different than the intense ones that you're going on. But it'll be fun.
Well, you throw them in a backpack and you just go.
Well, thanks so much for your time, Dawn. It has meant so much to us, and we hope you have just a great day. And no goals for yourself, just whatever drifts along in the wind, pick up and do it, I guess.
That is my motto.
I hope you had fun. I hope you had fun with us.
I did. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a great time. Thank you.
See you, Dawn.
Bye.
Well, Dawn did not disappoint us.
Of course not.
Not even a little bit. We laughed. She had us in stitches the whole time.
Yeah, that was so much fun. Yes, it was a lot of fun. Lots of laughs. But also, she had some great things to share with us.
She did. And it sounds like she's not a very serious person. She is very serious in her intentions of the way she lives her life.
I mean, that was definitely evidenced by the story she shared about her friend in Alabama who sees, the good and appreciates that. I mean, if she wasn't like that too, then she probably wouldn't notice that about her friend.
No, it's quite apparent that she sees the beauty of her friend and how she enjoys life and how intentional she is.
I love hearing about Dawn's amazing adventures.
The other thing is so spontaneous in her choices of, hey, I'm going to go do this. Mm-hmm. Like she said, some people take 6 months to start studying, figuring it out, getting ready for something. She gave it a couple weeks. Yeah, I can do that.
Well, spontaneous in her decision making, like, yeah, I'm going to do this. But then also very prepared in the actual implementation of the adventures.
Yes, she doesn't go in haphazardly.
Something that I loved were those posters that she showed us on the wall. The posters that she made herself with images and then putting the quotes over it of quotes that mean a lot to her. And she picked out some really amazing quotes to see on a daily basis and to try to live by. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I hope that she shares those with us, but I really like the cow curtains.
That was your takeaway?
No, but she said cows are happy.
I did like the cow curtains as well. That was pretty awesome. She has these amazing, delightful curtains in her room that are cows. It's an image of cows peeking into the window as if, like, when the curtains are closed, it looks like there's cows looking into your window. And she likes to wake up to that every morning.
Because they're happy. They're happy cows.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. The other thing, it's too bad that that our podcast is not also video, because her one-bedroom apartment, as she was going through how everything is in its place, her camping gear, her hiking gear, her skiing gear, everything is up and out of the way, but has its spot.
Yeah,
she's
really
very
awesome.
proud about that.
And I love the bass guitar that's there ready for her for whenever she needs an indoor hobby. I mean, it's kind of like, it's almost like having like an insurance hobby.
Yeah.
Like a future insurance hobby. Like, if I am out of commission for any sort of reason and I can't do these things I like to do outside that are more physically active, I can always fall back on this beautiful bass guitar hanging on my wall.
Thum, 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 thum. Well, I think that we are going to go ahead and close off for the day.
What? Hold on. You've known Don for, let's see, 25 years.
25 years.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. I can't say that she's changed because she lives her life her own way. I don't know how else you would really be able
Very
to describe
authentic.
it. Yeah.
And very genuine.
Yeah. I don't want to say, be darned with anybody else's opinion. She's still going to live her life the way she wants to live her life. And I guess that would be...
my biggest takeaway for sure from the episode was her saying that if she could go back and give herself advice, she wouldn't.
Nope. She likes how things are turning out. Why would she potentially change the trajectory?
And if she went back and gave herself advice, then literally everything since that moment would be different. And who knows who she would be and where she would be and what she would be doing. Mm-hmm. All of those could be vastly different, which is a fun thought experiment.
Yeah. Highs and lows. I'll take it.
But then we're really going to have to think, are we going to keep that question on or should we retire the question?
It was pretty insightful.
Oh, well, that concludes another episode of
Porch Swing People.
Find us on Instagram. Follow us on Spotify. We're also on Facebook.
Porch Swing People out. Cheese.
Teasy.
Porch Swing People is recorded and produced by Lex and Gibby. Opening music was written and produced by Michael Gibson. Porch Swing People is a podcast featuring everyday people. If interested in being a guest, email us at porchswingpeeps@gmail.com.